Okay, what we have here is a Demon Hunter playing in the background, and I'm working on a 2007 Jeep Commander with a 3.7 and all-wheel drive. I changed the transmission fluid and filter. I flushed the converter, but I'm doing the transmission cooler lines, which are supposedly a kind of a bitch. I didn't see much on the internet about it, but you gotta take the grill off, and there's like some plastic push pin fasteners you gotta pull out on the top, and then this one, at least, it popped out on the bottom. And then after that, you got the upper radiator support take off. You got a couple 10mm head bolts on each side, and you got the latch here, which hooks up on here with these braces and stuff. I pulled it up out of the way. The battery's got some kind of plastic cover on there, so I'm not worried about shorting that out. You might want to disconnect the battery. We always recommend that before working on anything. But I got the support out. I got the latch thing off out of the way. I took some plastic push Christmas tree fasteners out here. Pulled this out of the way. Access the 10mm bolt here. 10mm bolt on this side. Then I tried to lift the radiator out to get me a little more room after I took these little clips out. You pull these little plastic sleeves off, and then you got a pick and you can work these little clips out. Then you just kind of spray them with penetrant and rock them back and forth, and then you should be able to pull them out like that. But everything I tried, this thing was trapped. I couldn't. I was able to get it through to a certain point, but the radiator shroud was in the way. So there's like four 10mm head bolts that hold the radiator shroud on. So this, and two on the other side, and then you got the bulkhead connector here for the shroud. You can't get the radiator shroud out with the upper radiator hose on there. So I plan on draining a little coolant out, pulling the hose out of the way, and then once the radiator shroud is out, I believe you can work these hoses, these tubes out, grabbing them from the inside here. I don't know if I could set this up to see it better, but you got to work these through here. I'm filming with my hand, but you can see on the other side here where they come out. So just make a mental note where they come out, just above this air conditioning tube. Hang on. So now that I got them out through the other side here, I did the oil pan gasket, and there was like some kind of a support, the plastics bundle support for the tubes that I tried to pop off, but I had snapped it, so it's kind of loose. But normally that would be anchored there, but it's on this side. Then when you got to go underneath, let's see what I can see here. There's a plastic cover. It has some 13mm bolts that you got to get out. I shoved the cover back there. There's like, I believe there's like 4 of them, 13mm head. And then basically the transmission cooler lines hook up right here, but the coolant or the transmission fluid that I flushed out of the converter, the line I disconnected on this side of the cooler line thermostat. In order to get those off, you got to put a crescent wrench, adjustable crescent wrench, to hold this, to back this up, and then you use an 18 millimeter line wrench to crack these loose. And then you could use let's see, it's like a little open end crowfoot 18. You can just back it out with, I don't know where I put the thing at, but I had shoved like a piece of old air hose on the transmission cooler line. You can see what's dripping out is clean. I got about 8 quarts of transmission fluid that I went through. I'm probably gonna have to use 9 because this thing's been leaking here. I made a mess. Another thing to note is there's a bulkhead connector back here by the transmission pan. So there's wiring that was exposed because the wire tubing had disintegrated and came off, and it was against the metal here and stuff, which can become a short. There's a little metal shield here that you got kind of pull out of the way. There's 6 pan bolts with T30 heads. You need a torque wrench or 6 millimeter diameter bolts, but you need a T30 socket, and there's one 10 millimeter here. It's got to pull out in this bracket, but I changed that wire tubing. I worked it around all that. I took this shield off here. See, this wire tubing up here is all new. It was exposed yellow wires, pretty much. A lot look like green and yellow. You can see like there's some wire tubing for something else, with some wires kind of like out, but they don't look like they're rubbing on a bracket or anything. The wiring tubing, it's typical on GM cars too. Now on the right hand side, this is your cooler return line on the passenger side. There's actually an arrow. There's a NAG-1 transmission, and there's a arrow actually in the casting showing the flow. So the left side one is the one where the fluid comes out, and you know, I don't know if it would flow through that thermostat until it's hot. So you gotta, if you're gonna flush the line, you gotta disconnect the line up here, and it comes off the left side of the trans. It connects up here somewhere. I gotta hook that up because it's dripping out. But, well, and then here on the corner of the oil pan, there's like something that holds the transmission cooler lines in there. This thing is broken. I'll have to use a tie strap, I guess. But these lines, actually I had them out already, but because I made the mistake of putting the fluid in the trans, the level of the fluid in the trans came up and it started dripping out of the line, so I put these things back in. So those are 18 millimeter. You use a 18 millimeter crowfoot line wrench Probably be easier to get at it. Take these two out, and then you should be able to fish these things out. So I'm gonna pause this thing a minute and see if I can get these out. Okay. Alright, once you got these lines disconnected, use a 18 millimeter line crowfoot is probably the easiest. Get those out, and you got to make sure that you get that thing out of the block there with the that holds the lines. This thing snapped, unfortunately. This thing holds it up, but I'm gonna see if I can fish these lines out from the top now. Get this radiator shroud out and stuff. Need some music playing here. A second.
Palisade versus Ford Explorer. Look what Palisade
This is
has.
Demon Hunter piece. Alright. So basically I got those out. So I'm gonna turn it. I think we can get them out, but not sure. Hold on a sec. Okay, I got it out. I actually had to kind of snake it from under the hose. So they did come out. That's what they look like. I would imagine these things would be worse if they didn't have the transmission cooler line thermostat in line. They'd be longer and more unwieldy to deal with. Here's that fastener thing that holds it up to the engine block. So I'm gonna just have to use tie straps, I guess, through the hole. So, but yeah, that's basically not a real big deal. Can be done. Just gotta get some stuff off the front, get under there, and get dirty. All right. Have a good weekend.